Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike the intern, Ned Reynolds. Thank God it's Friday. A red Friday, but a banged up and bruised red Friday according to the Chiefs roster right now.
Yeah, they had several players, of course, who didn't practice again yesterday, and usually Thursday's the key. On Friday, they'll have a very light workout, and then tomorrow walk through, and then the football game on Sunday. Isaiah Pacheco did not practice yesterday. That has to be a point of concern. That's not to say that he won't play, but his availability Sunday against the Buffalo Bills has to be in question right now. Donovan Smith and Drew Tranquill probably in the same circumstance, although in Tranquill's case, that's a doctor's decision because he's concussion protocol. And Donovan Smith, well, he's just plain hurting with his injury to his shoulders and so forth. So Nick Bolton, that's another very interesting story. Nick Bolton, the one-time Missouri Tiger linebacker who's been out for about 8 weeks because of a dislocated wrist, might see some action. I doubt very much, Mike, that he starts, but he could very well get in there and play some. He'll have more than likely a big padding around his wrist that the officials in the National Football League have to approve, but it's still, you're right, they're a banged-up and bruised crew, not significant injuries to the point where they're out for the season, anything like that, but nagging little bumps and bruises that the Chiefs have been able to avoid over the years. Well, they may not be avoiding them now. And the Buffalo Bills, I promise you, they will come in with fire in their eyes. That's a good rivalry, the Chiefs and the Bills.
Always going to be a good rivalry in the AFC. It's always the way it is, and hopefully Pacheco comes back, but down the line we're going to need him hopefully in January and come February. So if he needs to sit 1 week, we'll hopefully have to rely on Clyde Edwards-Helaire to pull it through for us, or maybe a wide receiver catch the ball. Speaking of this Sunday after the Chiefs face off with the Bills, they go to New England to face off with the team that actually won a game last night in Pittsburgh. What the hell?
Not just won the game, may have knocked Pittsburgh out of the playoffs. 21-18 was the final. New England Patriots, they were massive underdogs going in, got off to a 21-3 lead with Bailey Zappi as their quarterback. That's right, that's the guy. He's been around now for a few years. And Zappi was 19 of 27 or something like that, threw 3 touchdown passes, all of which were in the first half. Patriots did not score in the second half, but the defense was able to hold off the Steelers, keep them out of the way. They did challenge. Pittsburgh did come back. It was 21-18, but at that point, Pittsburgh never got any closer to the goal line, and New England pulls off a big upset and may have knocked Pittsburgh out of the playoffs. The Steelers are not playing very well, and Coach Tomlin will agree with that. I'm sure the players will as well, but hey, you lose to a team that just won its 3rd game of the year, now 3-10. That ain't very good.
Not looking good. Hunter Henry had himself a night last night.
Big night. He's a good player.
Good. If you raise your hand, if you picked the Patriots to win and or started Hunter Henry in your fantasy team, if you did, there's no way you're going to the playoffs. All right, a former Missouri Tiger is now a Football Hall of Famer. Big congratulations to him.
Jeremy Maclin. Everybody remembers Jeremy Maclin. He's one of Missouri's very best and a great player and a very good player in the NFL as well. He's been retired now from the NFL for about 5 years. Maclin's only 35, and he is a Missourian. He's from St. Louis. But for the Tigers, well, he had a terrific career. And last night, actually earlier this week, the National Football Foundation College Hall of Fame inducted him as well as several others into their shrine of college football greats. And that's a really high honor for Maclin, who did have the great career as a pro as well. That doesn't count in this kind of consultation. No, this is all college, and Maclin was a big star for the black and gold.
And then he would go on to be a big star for your green and white and a big star for my red and gold.
That's exactly right.
Ned's about the 3 degrees of separation. The Associated Press has named the College Football Player of the Year. You agree with it?
I do. He is a candidate for the Heisman along with several others. The overwhelming favorite was Caleb Williams of Southern Cal, and Mike, he got 0 points. 0. That's how mediocre a year Caleb Williams, as a junior at Southern Cal last year, had. He was supposed to be the big deal this year. He was at Oklahoma, and then when he transferred out to USC, nothing this year. Anyway, that's a sidelight to the story. The winner is Jalen Daniels of LSU, who had such a tremendous year at QB. He was a one-year transfer from Arizona State. And this year, Daniels for the Bayou Bengals, gosh, his total offense was just under 5,000 yards, 4,946, and that is 40 touchdown passes, 4-0. That's pretty doggone good. All right, Jalen Daniels, LSU. Now, what about his availability for a bowl game? Well, he's undecided. He might not play. LSU is in the ReliaQuest Bowl game it is a New Year's Day game, but it's not one of the New Year's 6. LSU plays Wisconsin, and Coach, the LSU program is in a bit of a disarray at the moment because they've been off and they're having final exams and so forth. Will all the players be there? That remains to be seen, but they really do need Jalen Daniels. Coach has told him that, and we'll see whether or not he complies with that request.
Man, I'm interested to see who that Heisman Trophy winner is going to be now.
It'll be tomorrow.
Yeah, it's going to be tomorrow, and we'll definitely talk about it on Monday. I know you're excited, stoked to watch this game with your buddies from the Army. Army-Navy starts up tomorrow. What time?
Go Navy. Go blue and gold. It'll start at 2 o'clock, and this year, for one of the very few times in the series, the game is not being played in Philadelphia. They're up at Foxborough, Massachusetts, home of the New England Patriots, and they will play it at 2 tomorrow afternoon. I don't know, but I think the weather conditions may be a little bit on the iffy side up in New England tomorrow. But it's Army-Navy. They play regardless of what the situation is. It's been going on forever and ever. Navy leads that series with 62 wins to 54 for the Army. 7 of them have been ties. This year, Army is a 3-point favorite. Well, Army and Navy both have the same records going in, 5-6. They play similar schedules, except that Navy's is in, or was this year, and will be next year, of course, in the American Athletic Conference, and Army joins that conference next year. Army will play AAC as well, so their schedules will be totally simultaneous. But what about the Army-Navy game? What happens then, and what happens to the winner in that one? Do they play in a bowl game? Probably not, because it comes after. It's the last game of the season, and after the AAC will have had its championship decided. So we'll see. It's rather dicey. But the fact is that Army and Navy play tomorrow. Army is a 3-point favorite.
We'll see what happens. I hope you win some drinks at the bar. All right, last but not least, Chiefs are at home. Regain some confidence in themselves. Face off with a very tough rival, Buffalo Bills. Ned Talk starts at 1.
It does indeed. We'll all be here at 1 o'clock with the pre-game show. That's Ned Talk. That runs for an hour. Then at 2 o'clock, join the Chiefs Network for their pre-game show, which runs for another hour. And then the Chiefs and Bills kick it off on Sunday afternoon, probably under pretty good conditions up at Arrowhead Stadium. But you're right, Mike, and this one does have me concerned because Buffalo, while they have not had a great year, neither have the New England Patriots, and they won last night over Pittsburgh. You can't tell. These are professional athletes. They're determined. Buffalo will come in. They don't like Kansas City. Kansas City doesn't like them. But the fact remains it'll be a good football game, and indeed we'll have it all right here at 104.7 The Cave.
There's a reason they say the phrase, any given Sunday, and it still holds true this Sunday and the Sunday after that. Ned, you have a great weekend, and I'll see you on Monday.